Asgard's Wrath 2 is hailed as one of the greatest virtual reality games ever made. It got an amazing Metacritic of 8.7 stars and a perfect 10 out of 10 from IGN. I was ready to dive right into that puppy as it came for free for the Meta Quest 3. Before I begin I figured it's time to look at its predecessor, the original. That's right. I will be playing what I will believe will be my first in many videos on Asgard's Wrath Original, played through my Meta Quest 3, and of course it's played through the PC, through PC VR, so it's played on my gaming machine.
For self-improvement, crafts, and fitness games, go ahead and turn on YouTube and watch Jack.
Asgard's Wrath originally came out 5 years ago in 2019. And that just blows my mind that 2019 was 5 years ago. Thanks, COVID, for ruining my perception of time. Winning the best VR game at the GameAwards, it's all about stunning graphics and great gameplay. Seriously, this may be a record for how much better the first game's graphics are compared to its sequel. You know, look at this game. This is the first game, and this is the sequel 5 years later. Kind of looks bad, right? Of course, that's due to the hardware for the original Asgard's Wrath running on a high-end gaming PC, which is only available through streaming it. Basically, you have your MetaQuest, and then you can be able to stream games from your PC, which, of course, your PC is way more powerful than, you know, a small little handheld device.
Finish this fight, fledgling god! Take my sword!
The downside to this means that you need a $1,000 plus gaming machine, $400 for the headset, and pay whatever it costs to have good enough internet to stream from your PC to the headset. That is a lot of moolah. Compare that to the second one, which all it does is it uses the headset to stream, and it uses that in-game hardware. That's easy. Is Asgard's Wrath worth all of this cost and effort? Spoilers, but absolutely. This game is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Before discussing this game a little bit more, I wanted to get my challenge out of the way. For I am not just playing Asgard's Wrath for just, you know, a little bit of fun here and there. I am using it to burn calories and become fitter and stronger. Yeah, I'm a little restricted by my green screen, but so you can see the muscles. Yeah, this is Asgard Wrath muscles. My challenge was to play this game every day for 30 days. I'll be using my Apple Watch to calculate my heart rate and calorie burn to determine how many pounds I shedded playing this game and how many calories overall did I burn. See all of these statistics plus a little bit more at the end of my video, or you can just, you know, click on that little description box, find the time codes, and click and skip to there. You know, but then you'll be missing hearing me fumble and talk about the game, which I will do now. With my challenge outline out of the way and everything set up, I am ready to dive into the world of Asgard.
Agir, ale for me and my friend.
Spoilers, but I will be spoiling up until I get the Raven character, so skip ahead to the statistics section if that's really all you're curious about, or my overall wrap-up. Again, you know, you're just going to be missing me fumble over the game, so don't worry, just skip to those sections. Upon starting the game, you must hold your arms out to the side, which will help configure your height. Pretty smart. I know another game, Thrill of Fight, you kind of just stand there on a scale. Both of these are great ways to kind of calculate your height. Way better than just inserting it through some menu. From there, the game starts with this amazing opening of you walking in a beautiful temple with this beautiful rainbow pathway. From there, you begin the first saga, the Voyage of the Beast. It's here that you will learn the controls and how you swing your weapons and attack with like a bow and arrow. The amount of detail displayed in this opening is just incredible. The animation and just the incredible soundtrack, just everything comes together to create this perfect experience. And I know it looks kind of like, okay, it looks like a PC game, but in VR, you're just really immersed into the surrounding. It's pretty awesome. Once you beat that first beast, take him down and make him pay. You get taken to Asgard's Hall with your friend, Loki. It turns out that you learn from here that you are a god in training. You must answer the prayers of people in bad situation, take control over their bodies, and help them with whatever situation that they are in. When you help them out, Loki will come in and like pop up and be like, hey, let me teach you how to swing a sword, or hey, let me show you some cool tactics. You know, Loki's there to kind of teach you how to be a god and use these characters. In return, you must bring items like these rare things you collect at the end of each saga back to Loki. Spoilers, these are items that are owned by other gods, and Loki is not trustworthy. I know. Believe it or not, Loki is not trustworthy. That's not a lesson you've learned from watching the Thor movies. Spoilers for the Thor movies. But Loki is a bad character. In my playtime, I helped out a few characters. First was a woman in whose town was taken over by another god. There is also a guy with an axe that you can retract, which makes me feel like Thor. Next is like a blind magician dude, not musician, he doesn't play the instruments. A blind magician who must save his town. And lastly, there's this dark elf who needs to get back home with some stolen treasure. To help each of these people, you must take over their mortal bodies and just go and drag yourself into it, and then you become them. You can pop out from being like this person at any time by going to these god altars where you switch to being a god. The gameplay mixes between being that god and like transforming animals and solving different puzzles. When you are possessing a character, your goal is to like explore the little level a little bit more and beat up some bad guys. From there, you must make it to the next area, go to the next altar, solve the puzzle, continue onwards until you get to the boss battle, where you then get your item. I am, of course, simplifying everything, but you get the gist of it. It's kind of more of like a linear game where you become the god, solve the puzzle, get the treasure. Of course, the main difference is that the environment for each of these characters are different, and everything is just so beautiful. Let's talk about the gameplay for now. For the most part, the game controls very well, especially early into the VR gaming culture, which of course this game came out. You walk around using the joystick, which may or may not cause dizziness, depending on your usage of VR. At this point, this is my third VR game that I played and reviewing, so I'm pretty well adjusted to like moving and stuff within VR. I don't get as sick as I did in the first time. You can grab your sword and shield from your body and swing around the controller to attack. You must look at items and hold your controller like this, kind of like possessing the item, and it comes to you, and then you can do whatever you want. Like a food, you can possess it and eat it. You have a small inventory, so you must travel back and forth from the mortal worlds to Asgard to deposit your items. The one bad thing about this is the small inventory is that you must sit through a lot of loading screens each time you do this. Once you do get these items, you can upgrade your heroes or allies. Your allies are these cool monsters that you transformed when you were a god. Each one contains a special ability that can help you solve different puzzles. For example, there's a shark guy who's like, I'm hungry. So you can point him to like food or people in cages. The shark will jump up and eat the cage, in which case they will like, a lot of times they're levers. So you pull down the lever and then you're able to continue. In general, the graphics are great, the soundtrack and sound effects are amazing, and the gameplay is engaging. I must have nothing to complain about this game, right? Just go out and buy it. It's just $50. Well, that's not true. I do have quite a bit of complaints. The game's fatal flaw is that it is buggy as hell. While playing, items will fall through the floor, and your allies will a lot of times just disappear on random, or just don't follow the commands that you set. It's just kind of a mess a lot of times. Sometimes you're like, oh man, I spent 20 minutes without a single bug, and all of a sudden, like, everything's breaking down around you. One of the major bugs that actually happened to me was a save glitch within the game. I saved my game in one spot, and then when I returned, I skipped ahead to a whole new section within the map entirely. Due to me being on this different location, the game must have calculated that, oh, I'm way further along than I did. So it gave me like a whole bunch of items and levels, and I gained 2 new allies that I've never seen before, and I have no idea how to use. Here's actually a Reddit thread that explains what happened to me. It's apparently a common enough glitch that people have reported it. What is unknown in my research is whether or not this game actually locks me out, because getting these characters, transforming these characters, are actually quests within each game, within each level. So now that I have 2 that I never transformed, it's like, how am I going to complete those quests? I guess just go to that part in the game and see if it breaks, but then I'm just wasting more time. To wrap up where I am within the story, I was turned to Asgard to everyone gone except for a single god. It turns out that Loki tricked you. Spoilers, I know. Loki's trickster. Who would have thought that? Loki tricked you into taking other gods' stuff, so he banished you forever. This is the 5th saga within the game. You must transform that raven into an ally to get it out of the prison. Of course, Raven is one of the characters that I got from that save glitch, so I can actually transform them and close that quest out. So I can escape the prison from now, but, I can't really transform into the raven, because, again, I already have the raven. This all occurred on my last day of the video, so I don't know if this is going to cause any more glitches or anything, or what's the downstream effect of this glitch. I just hope it doesn't ruin my game, because, I spent a lot of time playing this, and I hope to continue and finish Asgard's Wrath before I continue on to Asgard's Wrath 2, which I also read has a lot of glitches, but at least the developers are starting to fix those. And by the way, this is developed by one of Meta's studios, so Facebook, you got the money to fix this. Please fix it. Despite these glitches and bugs, I still had an absolute blast with this game. While it is nowhere near perfect, and apparently the sequel trumps it in every single way except the graphics, I recommend everyone play this game, as it is one of the best VR just experiences in general that I have ever had. And it is one of the best games that I've ever played in general. Again, VR is just so immersive that for someone like me, it's just perfect. I recommend it to anyone and everyone who can afford it to play this game. Again, you need a $1,000 PC, you need a $400 headset, you need a strong internet connection. That's a lot of money for just one game, but trust me, it is one of the best games that I've ever played. It's just the immersive aspect for me. This video shall conclude with the results of my experiments. How many calories did I burn playing Asgard's Wrath? Well, let's calculate. I played the game for 30 days and took off once a week, usually on Sundays. That way I can, take a breather. That brings me down to playing 26 days over the course of that 30 days. Before playing the game, my starting weight was 294.8 pounds. Yep. I'm a big dude right now. I actually weighed myself before recording this, and I'm down to 291.8. So I did lose a little weight between playing this game and this recording. After my 30 days of playing, that went down to 293.2 pounds. Totaling a weight loss was only 1.6 pounds. It is a little bit disappointed since you should be losing up to 2 pounds each and every week, according to the Center of Health. I forgot what they're called, dang it. The American Health Society or whatever. Here is the chart of my playthrough, including all the dates, time, and number of calories that I burned for that session. All this is available and will be put on the jack-jenkins.com website for this game underneath the script and underneath the video link. So click that link. I'll put it in the description below if you'd like to see more details. From the table, I was able to grab a few statistics. During the 26 days of playing, I burned 4,846 calories. That's a bit more than a pound of calories burned off from playing a video game. That's the power of virtual reality right there. The average number of calories burned during the gameplay section was actually pretty good. I was surprised at how high the number was. The average number of calories I burned during a session is 186.38. I played the game for a long total of 10 hours if you round it up. That's not pretty bad. I played the game for a total of 10 hours if you round it up. That gives me a playtime of 23.5 minutes per day. I try and aim for 20 minutes per day, so if I go for a little bit longer than that, that means it's a good game. If I go for shorter than 20 minutes, you can tell I was either very tired or I just wanted to get over it. Overall, I burned 8.08 calories per minute. My average jogging calorie per minute is 8.3, so, burning calories is a little bit less than that. Of course, calorie burn depending on whether I was in combat, swinging around, getting into it, or if I was just solving a puzzle in God mode, in which case I was like, grab something, put it down. Not a lot of calories burned here, but swinging around, shield, that burns a lot of calories and breaks my green screen. So guys, that's it for today's video on Asgard's Wrath. Again, highly recommend you purchase it if you can afford it. It's a blast. If you like this video, then please give me a big thumbs up. I'm trying to grow the channel, so any reaction to the algorithm will help. Whether you thumbs up, thumbs down, or, leave a comment. If you do leave a comment, I try to answer, and I'll answer to every single comment that I get, at least the ones that show up on YouTube Studio, which I learned today is not every single comment. So if you didn't get a comment through YouTube Studio, I won't see it. If you have any challenges or ideas for me, please leave them down there too. I will do pretty much any legal challenge that won't hurt me. Follow me on X and Instagram at TrueJackJenk. Visit my website at jack-jenkins.com. Lastly, all you guys watching, I hope you have an amazing day. All you guys are just incredibly amazing, and if you want to improve, you can improve playing Asgard's Wrath, but you can also improve together.